Assalamu alaikum, it's Haroon here. My hair is a little bit crazy, so do ignore that. I know I need a haircut, but I've just let it grow and become a bit of a monster at the moment. So yeah, we're gonna get started today. One thing that we're gonna be discussing is finding winning products. Okay, so last week I sent my ebook that I wrote, which is Finding Winning Products. So I know a lot of you love that ebook. You found so much value in it. Today I'm just going to go a bit more into the discussion. So how to find winning profitable products, okay? And the reason why, again, this is so important is because one product can absolutely change your life. I've experienced it many times where you have a product and it grows to do over 100,000, even in 1 million in sales, and makes you more money than you have in your entire life, okay? How do you go about doing that? That's what we're going to be discussing today, inshallah. Essentially, as mentioned to you, one product can change your life. And I remember, like I mentioned, when I first got into e-commerce, I was in a position where I was a little bit worried. What am I doing? I was a bit unsure. And you know, when you have a mind frame of you're used to the 9-to-5 world, right? That's where my mindset was. When I looked into business, I was fearful. I was at, am I putting a risk out there? What am I doing? What am I not doing? So I was in a very fearful position. But at that time, I made the decision that I need to figure this area out, okay? And what I really did is I started off by investing in learning from expert people exactly how to start selling products online. And when I did that, when you learn from somebody who knows what they're doing, that accelerates your results and accelerates the learning, right? So I did that and I processed that, and essentially had a product that just blew out the window and pretty much was the foundations of me being able to do multi-millions online after I done that, right? In different projects and different ventures. So essentially, how do you find a winning product? Okay, let's go into jumping into that. So the first element is you need to understand how are you going to sell it? What is the business model behind it, right? And I know there's a lot of new people in this group, so I'm going to explain it in very, very simple formats, okay? So number one, you need to find products, okay? You need to find products. And the way we find products here at the Ecom Experts is that we use a website called AliExpress, okay? So this is different. You might have heard of Alibaba. It's not Alibaba, it's AliExpress. What the difference is Alibaba is a website where you buy bulk products, whereas AliExpress is a website where you can buy 1 unit of product at a very low price point, okay? So what we do is we go onto the website and then we do research where we look for products that have a certain criteria, right? That have a certain criteria. Now, in terms of those criteria, there is essentially 3 main core elements that we're looking for, okay? And once we found those 3 core elements, there are other areas of things that we are also dealing with, okay? And I'll get to that as well. But the first area is that the product that we're going to be looking out for needs to grab our attention. That's one of the most important aspects. Like when we're researching on the website and we're scrolling, let's say, we're scrolling clothing or we're home decor or any niche that you can think of, gardening, whatever, right? The product needs to have a eye-catching, like when you see the image of it, it grabs your attention. And ideally what you want is when you see that image, you're like, wow, that's amazing, right? That's cool. If you can even have a response of, oh, wow, that's really different. I've never seen anything like that. That's amazing. That's even better. But the best is, wow, that's amazing. I want that. If you see an image that gives you that feeling, then you know that you could be onto a winner here, right? So it needs to be able to have that feeling of that image grabs your attention. And it could be something as small as a pair of trainers, a night suit, whatever it might be, right? So it needs to grab attention. Why does it need to grab attention? Is because what you're doing is you're going to be putting the image on social media as an advertisement, okay? So if you're in a position where you are, the people are online, they're not in a mindset of wanting to buy at the moment, okay? They're not in a mindset of, oh, I'm shopping, okay? For you to get that person to buy, it needs to essentially shake them in a, what's the word? Stop them from scrolling. That's what they call it, a scroll stopper. and then get them to think, wow, I like this, let me give this some attention, right? So that's why it's important that number one, it needs to be attention grabbing, okay? Number two is that it needs to be a high perceived value product, okay? So when you look at the images, you need to have the images need to portray a feeling of that product being very high quality and premium quality. And the reason why is because you want to be able to sell it at a higher margin, okay? So when you look at a product and it just looks cheap, gimmicky, poor, plasticky, those are not the products that you want to do. You want to look at a product and say, you know what? This looks like a product that could sell for $50, $100, or whatever the case is, right? And there's number three. Point number three then comes in, okay? Point number three is, and Muhammad Omar just come in. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Thank you for joining. So point number three is it needs to have the margin, okay? And the margin should be $30 at least, minimum, $30 to $40. So for example, if it's a $10 product that you can source it on AliExpress, you want to sell it for 40. If you source it for 20, then you sell it for 50. If you sell it for 30, you sell it for 60. And if you sell it for 40, then you don't add 30 on, you just double it. So if you sell it for, get it for 40, you sell it for 80. If you get it for 50, you sell it for 100, right? So in summary, when we're going through the website, the three core foundations are: number one is we need to be able to, it needs to grab our attention. Number two, it needs to be looking amazing, high perceived, high quality premium product. And number three, we need to be able to add a minimum $30 margin for us to be able to sell it, okay? And the reason why we need to be able to have that margin is because that gives us the space to then go and buy a customer through Facebook advertising, all right? So those are the core three elements. If you haven't, I launched last week the blueprint, the winning product cheat sheet. If you haven't got it yet, just comment in the comment section cheat sheet, okay? And I'll send it to you at some point today or tomorrow, right? Let me just see if I can, I'll show you. It's this document here. And as you can see, I showcase a lot of different type of products, so you can learn exactly what type of products to do and what not to do, and it showcases some amazing examples of products that literally you can test right now, right? So if you haven't got it, feel free to just say cheat sheet in the comment section below, and I'll send it your way, inshallah, right? So that's the cheat sheet aspect. Second thing is, so now that you found the product, okay, that's point number one. Point number two now is, in terms of, you need a website, okay? You need a website being set up that looks premium, that looks elite, and it has a good customer journey where the product can easily, the person that has liked the product can come on the website and within a few clicks of a button, they've ordered it, okay? It needs to, like, a lot of people on the website adds all these gimmicks and things flying around and things popping up. Like, you don't need none of that. Like, the quicker the journey from the customer to looking at the product to buying, the better, okay? That's where you want to get to. And then number three is so then you add it onto a website, and then number three is then you market the product, okay? Then you advertise it, and we use Facebook marketing to advertise our products because it allows us to laser target people that want that type of product. So for example, if you're selling a pair of, I don't know, a shirt, you can target people that are interested in shirts, okay? So it's a very, very powerful way where Facebook is really smart to know these are people that are looking to buy a shirt right now. Let's present this product in front of them, right? So just to summarize, number one, the method is finding the product. Number one, finding the product. Number one is finding the product on AliExpress. Number two is setting up the website. And number three, advertising on Facebook and so forth, and whatnot, right? Now, that is the method. It's a very simple method, and that's why we have a process where for our clients and the people that we work with, we set the foundations up. So what we do is, number one is we go ahead and actually set the website up for you. We then work with you one-to-one to select the products, and then we launch the product so that you're in a position where you're up and running and making sales. And literally every day with clients that we're working with, we get people making sales literally within the first 30 days, and they're blown away because they've never done a business before, and for the first time they're in a position where they're like, wow, I'm seeing a business being built and making money literally within the space of 30 days. Okay, some people it can take a bit longer because, you know, they have some challenges and stuff. Like, for example, Zaina's mentioning her ad accounts, ads are being blocked for certain reasons, so these things can happen. But the results with this business model are fast. It's a very streamlined way, but at the same time it takes time. It's not a overnight success story. It takes time to learn what products to do, what works and what doesn't work, and that's what really requires a lot of testing, right? So if you're in a position where you are interested, for those of you that are listening and you haven't got a business right now, you're interested and you want to possibly let us set that up for you and actually launch it, then just comment in the section 2021 and I'll send you a message and I'll give you further details, and we can take it from there, inshallah, right? So cool. So that's where I wanted to really just discuss with you today. Just give you a nice overview of exactly how one product can change your life. It does take a lot of testing of products, but once you start finding those products that make sales, then you can then start finding products that make you a lot of money, and then you have a consistent amount of, and these are the amount of products I need to test on a monthly basis, and then be able to make a lot of money from them, and you can do that again and again every single month moving forward, inshallah, right? So cool, that's it really from my side, inshallah. So yeah, I wanted to give that bit of motivation. We are coming up to the last quarter of the year, Q4, where things are in a position where we're gonna see e-commerce sales go sky high. So again, if you want further support and help in getting that done and getting yourself in a position where you're crushing it in the next 3 months, just comment below 2021. We'll reach out to you, we'll provide you with the training and get you to understand the model and so forth, and we'll take it from there, inshallah. So guys, I know it's a bit late. I was meaning to do this a lot earlier, so I'm going to leave you guys to it, inshallah. I'll catch up with you very soon. Thank you so much for joining me on this live, and I'll see you very soon. Assalamu alaikum.